most greatly achieving relative to expectation, is there any argument that team is Memphis, right? Memphis is the second best record in the NBA. The Grizzlies this year, without Ja Morant on the floor, are 18-2. Who saw that coming?
One of my favorite narratives in all of sports is when a team that starts to perform really well loses its star player, and then the team performs even better without that star player. It makes many people think,
wow, does this team even need this player to begin with?
And believe it or not, that's exactly what the Memphis Grizzlies are going through this year. It's actually hysterical how freaking good they've been without Ja Morant. So in this video, I want to dissect why they're so freaking good without Ja Morant, how this is going to impact their team moving on in the future, and why this is probably the greatest thing that could have ever happened to them. Before we get to the content, uploads have been a little bit slow on this channel, so in the event that you miss my voice or whatever, I started a brand new channel just for general commentary that pertains to stuff out of sports, TheFlightMike TV. We did a video on the Will Smith slap over there, so if you want to go check that out, by all means.
I'm not gonna force you.
Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. This video is sponsored by Albert. Unlike banks, Albert's actually going to save you money. Instead of just opening up a traditional savings account and hoping that you remember to put some money into it, Albert looks at your income and expenses and sees what money you could save. They offer 5 to 20% cash back from places like McDonald's, Starbucks, and Walmart. And the best part is they have your back so much that they'll spot you up to $250 when you need it. And most importantly, they'll help you manage your money with one of my favorite features on the app, Genius, which is a team of financial experts that Albert has that they call geniuses that will look at your situation and help you come up with a plan and answer any of your questions if you get stuck. And right now, when you go to albert.com/TFM and open up a checking account and connect a qualifying direct deposit, you'll get $150. That's albert.com/TFM to download the Albert app, open up a checking account and connect a qualifying direct deposit to get $150. And thank you, Albert, for today's sponsorship. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? This has been an absolutely remarkable year for the Memphis Grizzlies. This is the year that they finally took that next step forward to become one of the best teams in the Western Conference. And to be honest, while the signs were there, I have to admit, I wasn't expecting for them to be this good. I wasn't expecting Ja Morant to take this much of a leap. To give you an idea, during his sophomore season in the NBA, he went from averaging 19 points per game and 7.5 assists per game off of 45% shooting from the field to this year where he has been shooting 49% from the field, 34% from three, and averaging 28 points per game. That's pretty damn good considering the fact that this is just his third season in the NBA. And honestly, it has a lot of New Orleans Pelicans fans kicking themselves because as the team that selected Zion Williamson one pick before Ja Morant, all they got in return so far was one pretty damn good year from Zion to go along with a ton of potential trade rumors and his weight drama and his potential foot drama, which by the way, we're getting encouraging news from him on that, but it looks like he's not going to be able to play this year. Now, while Ja Morant has been a MVP finalist up until his previous injury, things got really interesting when Ja Morant injured his knee during this last stretch of games. Bear in mind, the NBA playoffs are just a few weeks away, and Ja Morant should return right before the NBA playoffs start. And the Memphis Grizzlies are sitting pretty, second in the Western Conference playoffs so far, hoping that Ja Morant is able to make a full recovery before the playoffs. Taylor Jenkins says that we expect him to make a full recovery before the playoffs, and we're expected that with 2.5 weeks left in the season. We'll offload him early, then he'll start reloading pretty soon here with that 2 weeks in mind to reevaluate. Let me know in the comment section, would you say Ja Morant deserves to be at least most improved player of the year? I definitely think so. And this brings us to, I guess, the dilemma of this video. And casuals are going to take this to a new level, saying that,
oh, the Grizzlies are better without Ja Morant.
Well, let me give you the narrative to begin with. So far, the Memphis Grizzlies have won 18 games and only lost 2 games without Ja Morant. So obviously, you're going to have some people that are going to take this to a really remarkable level. I mean, you're going to have some people saying that the Grizzlies don't need Ja Morant Morant. The Grizzlies are better off without Ja Morant, or they should trade Ja Morant next season. Which honestly, if anyone ever says that, just slap them.
There's a slap for you! Slap, slap, slap!
But the reason why this is being said is because the Memphis Grizzlies beat the Milwaukee Bucks by 25 points without Ja Morant just a few nights ago. This is even crazier when you consider the fact that Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton were both playing. So when you blow out the defending NBA champions, okay, you could come out and say maybe those players had an off night and maybe the Memphis Grizzlies were on fire. What's the reason for this all happening to begin with? Well, this is all happening primarily because the Memphis Grizzlies are playing a completely different type of basketball with Ja Morant off the court. Primarily, this is all as a result of their tremendously improved ball movement. The Memphis Grizzlies averaged 27.2 assists per game with Ja Morant out of the lineup, which is 5th in the NBA and marks a 2-assist improvement over times when Ja Morant is running the point. So a good example of this is last Wednesday, Memphis had 34 assists when they faced off against the Indiana Pacers. This goes even crazier. SportsCenter tweets this out. Without Ja Morant, the Grizzlies are 16-2, 3rd in offensive rating, 1st in defensive rating, and 1st in net rating. So clearly you could tell that SportsCenter's trying to create a narrative over here. It's like, oh, the Grizzlies are doing better without Ja Morant than with Ja Morant. Ja Morant's response to this is absolutely hysterical. He just quote tweets this with a muscle emoji saying, good ass team, top to bottom. You just imagine mainstream media's trying to take you down and you're like, yeah, good ass team, top to bottom, they don't even need me. Ja's been extremely professional about this so far, saying whatever needs to be said in order to uplift his teammates and to encourage them. There's more statistics involved in this. Memphis Grizzlies are fairly pedestrian three-point shooters with Ja Morant in the lineup. They make 34% of their three-pointers, making 33.7% of their three-pointers with Ja Morant in the lineup. Bear in mind, Ja is a 34% three-point shooter this year. He's improved from a 30% three-point shooter from last year. So obviously that is not necessarily the biggest strength in his game, but it's enough to the point where if it's falling, it's something that you need to respect. Well, without Ja Morant in the lineup, the Grizzlies' three-point percentage rose to 38.2%. Now, their head coach Taylor Jenkins thinks that the fact that there's been more ball movement, it's really helped his team break out of a shooting slump. I do believe it's because Ja Morant isn't in the lineup. If you think the Grizzlies beating the Milwaukee Bucks is wild, you should see what they've done to the Golden State Warriors. They absolutely smacked the Golden State Warriors just the other night. You just tell how pissed off Steve Kerr is during the time he's getting ejected. Like, you can just see this man is incredibly frustrated playing this team to the point where he gets ejected from the game. And this resulted in the Memphis Grizzlies beating the Golden State Warriors 123-95. It was an absolutely wild game. You had Ja Morant dancing and Steve Kerr screaming. It's not necessarily a sight that I am used to seeing. So this brings us all to one question. Are the Memphis Grizzlies better without Ja Morant? Well, I feel like during the regular season, you can make a very legitimate argument that they are. This team reminds me of a lot of previous starless teams that ended up dominating in the regular season. I mean, you look at the 2014 to 2015 Atlanta Hawks, who didn't really have a star player. They were great three-point shooters. They were tremendous defenders. And when they got to the NBA playoffs, they got absolutely exposed. So maybe in the regular season, you can make a legitimate argument that the Grizzlies are better without Ja Morant. And bear in mind, this team has a lot going for them. They have tremendous depth in the form of Desmond Bane, who primarily Desmond Bane was a spot-up shooter until they had to increase his role as a result of Ja Morant going to the bench. Then you have Jaren Jackson Jr., who's like a Swiss Army knife, whose versatility embodies the modern NBA 4. You couple that with an absolutely elite bench and just naturally good three-point shooters, and you're gonna have a recipe for success for the rest of the regular season. Bear in mind that I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. The Golden State Warriors didn't have Steph Curry the game that they got blown out. The Milwaukee Bucks did have Giannis and Chris Middleton the day they got blown out. But I think it's important to mention that historically, I've seen a lot of teams coming into the NBA season without a star, dominating in the NBA season without a star, then getting absolutely clapped in the NBA playoffs because, well, they didn't have a star player. I feel like this is kind of a blessing in disguise for the Memphis Grizzlies because before they were really struggling when Ja Morant would play games, but then Ja Morant would sit out and go to the bench to get some rest, primarily because they lacked point guard depth behind Ja Morant. Now, due in part to the fact that Ja Morant has been sidelined for the past few games, I feel like the Memphis Grizzlies are figuring out a means to be extremely effective without their star player on the court. If they are able to synergize Ja Morant's excellence when he is playing basketball with the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies' excellence without Ja Morant on the court, then I feel like this is a team that is going to go very deep in the NBA playoffs, as opposed to a team that could end up like last year's Utah Jazz. So I feel like Ja Morant's injury was probably one of the best things that could have happened to the Memphis Grizzlies in a vacuum. But I don't think the Memphis Grizzlies would win a championship if they decided to bench Ja Morant for the entirety of the NBA playoffs. That's absolutely silly. Needless to say, if you're a Grizzlies fan, this is a good thing. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this? How should the Memphis Grizzlies react to this type of information that was given to them? Do you think Ja Morant is holding back the Memphis Grizzlies? I personally think that's ridiculous. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.